Today is all about internet security hygiene. Now, you have already made some really great strides in securing your privacy and your devices, but today we're going to talk about the everyday habits that you can adopt to keep your online life clean and safe. Because if you are still clicking on malicious links, you still run the risk of getting hacked. Now, part of my holistic approach to security is setting up multi-factor authentication with a YubiKey from YubiKey. YubiKey is sponsoring this video, and I will share all the absolutely awesome ways this little hardware key can actually help you protect your online life in this video. So what's up, s'mores? I'm Shannon Morse, and welcome to day 18 of my 30-day security challenge. This challenge allows you to take security and privacy one step at a time, bit by bit. I know it's overwhelming to even think about cybersecurity, so do this challenge on your own time and download my full checklist over on my website, which is shannonrmorse.com. So first off, what is this internet security hygiene thing that I'm talking about? Well, the easiest way to think about it is when you go to the dentist, they ask if you're practicing proper oral hygiene, right? Like flossing, brushing, getting cleanings, and the same thing kind of goes for the internet. You are online constantly, so it's really important to protect yourself while browsing. You want to just leave your front door unlocked, and you shouldn't leave your digital life unprotected either. So in this video, we're creating habits. You get really good at cybersecurity when you don't have to think about it anymore, and it's just a habitual way that you use the internet. That really requires practice, but the more that you do it, the closer you get to forming that habit. So how do you develop these best practices? Well, we'll take a look at some of the biggest threats to good internet security hygiene, and I'm going to teach you some of my best practices. But before we get into those habits, I guess this one's a habit too. I want to talk about one of the biggest upgrades you can make to your internet hygiene, and that is using a hardware security key. This video is sponsored by YubiKey, and they are the makers of the YubiKey. So here's the thing. We have phishing, which is designed to trick you. You might land on a page which is a fake login page that looks identical to Google or Instagram or your email address. And if you type in your password, well, the attackers then have your password. But a YubiKey can stop that attack completely. When you log in, instead of typing in a code from your phone, you physically tap your YubiKey or you plug it into your device, and the key verifies the website is legitimate before allowing access. If it's a fake phishing site, the YubiKey simply refuses to work because the website doesn't match. It's kind of like having a physical key to your digital front door. No key equals no entry. I personally love my YubiKeys on my email, my password manager. I use them on social media. I even have one for my NAS admin login, my business tax and accounting profiles. Pretty much anywhere where they are accepted, I use them because if somebody gets access to my password, they still can't get in without also having access to this. And we all know passwords get leaked all the time. So if you want to upgrade your own internet hygiene, I highly recommend grabbing one of these. I've got links down below to get started. I also have a whole playlist of videos covering this as a topic. Or you can also visit ubi.co/Shannon-2024 for $5 off a key. And you can grab your own YubiKey over at Best Buy now or yubico.com/store. And now let's go ahead and get started with the habits that you should be building every single day to keep yourself safe online. Step number 1, clicking links and the dangers of clickbait. Now, you ever see a clickbait link that just makes you have to know what happens next? You know the ones like, you won't believe what happened next, or free iPhone giveaway, click here. These are usually dangerous, and they often lead to phishing sites or malicious pages that are designed to steal your information. Now, here's how I usually go about spotting these dangerous links. Does the link raise an emotional response, like fear or excitement or curiosity, or is it rage bait? That's really common these days, especially on social media. Does the link look weird? Like if you hover over it, down at the bottom of your browser, check if the URL looks suspicious. Is there a warning from your browser, like if you did click on it, does it say certificate invalid, or is there an unlocked padlock symbol up in the browser error bar? And is the website asking for too much information up front? Are they asking you to input information that you normally wouldn't just to read a news article? Now here's a little pro tip. Always double check the links before clicking and never input any sensitive information unless you are absolutely sure it's from a trusted site. I also have a pro tip. If you set up a password manager, it can autofill your credentials into websites that you have already saved. If you end up on a malicious site that is pretending to be a legitimate one, the domain is not going to quite match, even if it looks identical to you in your human eyeballs. The computer is going to know that they are different sites. So if your password manager does not automatically autofill the credentials for the site that you are going to, if it's fake, that might be a red flag that it's actually a fake site. Step number 2, storing data on websites. Just don't do it if you don't have to. Next up is storing data on websites, especially sensitive information like your credit card or your address. A lot of online stores ask you to save this information for faster checkouts. But do you know how they're protecting that data? Do they even know how they're protecting that data? Do they know if they have any vulnerabilities? Nobody knows except for their admin. And also, if you don't read their terms of service, chances are we don't know if they're selling their data to third parties or if they're collecting it for marketing reasons. We have no idea. So here's how to avoid putting your information at risk as much as possible. Don't store your credit card details on shopping sites, just input them every time. That actually has the benefit of also saving you money. If you don't have your credit card memorized and you also don't store it in shopping sites, then you can't spend that money right then and there. You will have to wait and be patient. And by the time you're patient, you might just decide not to purchase that thing. So that's a benefit. Also, if you must store data, use a temporary virtual credit card. You can always buy those from retail sites like CVS or Walgreens, or you could use a service like Apple Pay, which creates a virtual card for you when you check out. Check your information and delete old accounts as well. Any kind of old orphaned accounts that you kind of forgot about, or any saved information that might be old and no longer something that you really want saved on the internet, go back to those accounts and see if you can delete them. Now, if a site has a data breach, you don't want your details sitting there unprotected. Whenever breaches happen, this is a really big way that your data can end up being sold on the dark web, sold to third parties, etc. So if you don't input that data into online profiles in the first place, or you populate a profile with fake information, or a profile with information that you're okay with putting out there, like a secondary address, a secondary VoIP telephone number, your virtual credit card, that might be a good step towards protecting yourself online. Step number 3, password hygiene. Use different passwords everywhere. I know I have harped on this before, but let's talk about password hygiene. You might have a really great password manager set up, which is amazing. I'm very proud of you. That's a good thing to have. But if you are using the same password across all of your accounts, you are setting yourself up for trouble. If one of those accounts gets hacked, attackers could try your password on all sorts of other sites, and then boom, now they have access to your social media, your email address, your bank. And here's what you should do in this case. Use different passwords on every single site, don't reuse passwords across platforms, and use a password manager to easily manage different passwords without having to memorize them all. To be honest, I actually don't know what most of my passwords are because they are all randomly generated and they are super long. They were generated in my password manager and I just store them there. It's one less thing that I have to memorize. And if you are worried about password manager safety, there are some excellent tools that are local only and they do not sync up to anybody's cloud. Although in most cases, password managers that are synced are very secure and they are encrypted. And I say most because historically there have been a few cases with vulnerabilities. We know who they are. I'm not going to name any names, but we know. I have an ultimate guide to password managers as a part of my 30-day security challenge, so refer to that video for more information. All right, step number 4, trust no one, or TNO. This one's really important. Trust no one. Trusting websites, trusting apps, even people online can lead to major security issues. Just assume that all websites you visit are hackable and be cautious before entering any sensitive information online. So here's some red flags to watch out for. Unknown pop-up requests for personal data, phishing attempts disguised as legitimate emails or messages, random friend requests from people that you do not recognize, or random friend requests from people that you are already friends with. Like, why do they have another account? Ask them via a phone call before approving any new requests, because there shouldn't be a duplicate profile in most cases. Don't ask them via the social media account that you got the friend request from, because it could be hacked. They could already be hacked. Somebody could be pretending to be them. So always ask them on a secondary line of transmission and communication. When you go into it assuming that every site you visit could potentially be a little sus, it makes you pause before doing something you might regret. All right, step number 5, social media hygiene. Be skeptical of suspicious accounts. On social media, the scammers are always out there trying to get your data. Have you ever liked a page and then found something a little weird or suspicious that you did not recognize? Scammers often create fake profiles using popular company names. Like, I've seen ones that are scam pages for Disney, Apple, all sorts of different brands. They trick you into clicking on fake giveaway posts or other phishing scams. I'll give you a perfect example. It is 2026 and I still see this happen all the time on Facebook. A page will say tag @highlight to enter, and then all your friends get a notification. So I'll get a notification that my family member entered a giveaway, and I'm already thinking this is probably sus. So I go check out the page they entered on, and it turns out to be some kind of scam. Attackers use social media to phish information out of unsuspecting users. It is heckin' easy on social networks because we overshare, we're trusting. So that's where attackers focus their time and energy. So an attacker may create an account on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I know it's called X now, Facebook, wherever they want, and call it some incredibly popular company name. So I'll use another one I recently saw was a Disney cruise as an example. I've seen scammers use their name before. On this new profile page that says like Disney Cruises, it might post an image that says, huge Disney giveaway, 100 free cruise passes, like, comment, and tag a friend for your chance to win. This is totally worth a shot, right? A free cruise? No, it's not. It's a scam, guys. I'm sorry. So this is how you spot some fake accounts. Check for spelling mistakes in the post or the bio. If it's coming from a company, they're not gonna have spelling mistakes. If they do, they will take it down and reset it, or they will edit that post. And a lot of times you will see scammers just put it out there and leave the spelling mistakes. Look at previous posts. Are they all using the same photo? Or do they look like something that was generated by AI? That's a big thing right now. How long has the profile been active? When was it created? Legitimate giveaways will always have some kind of legal page with rules. They legally have to have this, or they can get in big trouble and get fines. Fake ones will not have any kind of legal page about the giveaway rules. A verified checkmark is actually no longer a good way to verify that a profile is real. Unfortunately, social media websites have now made verification a paid service. Anybody can get a checkmark just by paying for it. Do not use this as a source of legitimacy. This was a good thing to use for legitimacy like 10 years ago, because you only were able to get a verified checkmark if you're a verified user. But these days, you just pay for it and you can get a check mark, so that kind of sucks. Also, does a real professional business page or profile already exist on the platform for that brand? Then why in the world would they create another account? They want to get the numbers up on their own main page, so they're not going to create a secondary page just for a giveaway. That makes zero sense. So what do these scammers get out of it? Well, chances are they are going to ask for your data to potentially sell to third parties, advertisers, or other malicious folks, or they could wait till they've amassed a huge amount of followers on that page, then overnight change the entire page to reflect a completely different company. That's a very shady way for companies and brands to get a ton of followers at once, by setting up some kind of fake giveaway, and then they change it over and completely change the title and the name and the link, everything overnight. It's very shady, but it's a thing. So going back to the whole I must have forgot that I liked that page thing, yeah, maybe you did. Maybe you thought that you were liking the free Disney Cruise Facebook page, but overnight it was changed to a random dude's car dealership in a completely different state, or something random. If you do see a page like this, report it. Same thing goes for random friend requests. No mutual friends, unfamiliar name, no image on their profile pic, just unfriend it. Step number 6, the power of skepticism. So the bottom line here which I'm sure you've already figured out, is just be sus, be skeptical. The internet is an amazing place, but it can also be full of scams and data harvesting sites. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Always verify the source, never overshare. And that is it for day 18. You've now got a solid foundation in internet hygiene. Your digital life is cleaner and it's safer. Go floss, show off them pearly teeth, baby. So next for day 19, we're gonna talk about setting up a VPN, which I'm so excited about. I've been looking forward to this video for a very long time. Yes, I love setting up VPNs. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you found today's video helpful, like and subscribe for more tips. Hit the notification bell so you stay up to date on all the latest videos in this challenge. And check out shannonrmorse.com for the downloadable checklist. And skip ahead if you are feeling ambitious. I'm Shannon Morse, and I will see you soon for day 19. Stay safe, s'mores.